Okay, guys, I've been busy doing a few ducks for Children's Hospital, uh, and I put a few pictures up on Facebook last night, and a couple of our fellow woodturners have asked to see the video. I didn't make a video as such for this project. I did do a video a long time ago and it's up on YouTube, but I said I would do a wee quick video on the process of making the ducks. They're quite simple. They're turning on 2 axes, and you can make them as big or small as you want. There's nothing hard about it. The weight I'm using is let's see where we are. The weight I'm using is old what do you call it, skids, and the weight's not that great, but it does the purpose for the Children's Hospital for the kids to paint, and there's no point in buying good wood to paint. That there does the job okay. I'll take you through the process. I'm just going to move the camera down so you can see what I'm looking at. I brought this down the round. I'll just get my tape. And you always want to get something that's always on your side of the shed. Right, I rounded that down to 3.5 inches, and you can have that any length you want. That's 5 inches long. It did look like that. They're about 5.25 inches, and they're almost 4 inches square. Those skids we got. Where do you get them? Go to your local builder suppliers. They have stuff coming in all the time on lorries, and they just dump it off in the yard on skids, and I'm sure some of them would be only too gladly to be relieved of them, you know. We got these here a couple of years ago from a fellow woodturner in the guild, Ricky McDonald. He had a contact for similar thing. They came in with loads of these transport, and they were just spinning them in the skip going to landfill. So I didn't go down. He went down with a couple of hours and filled a couple of lorries. At one stage I had 80. There's always somebody looking at you in the middle of something. I try to keep the phone out of the videos. I was going to say, at one stage I had about 100 of them out there in the garden, sitting under a big sheet, plastic. I turned a lot of them away at Christmas time for the Christmas trees, for both the Children's Hospital and Snowman. We do it every year. The seasons come round, we have Christmas and we have Easter, and then we'll have something else before that. I'm sure Eugene will tell us what he wants made next, you know. It goes to a good cause. It goes to Children's Hospital, and what they have a surplus of, they share around the rest of the trust with their coordinators, you know, get children to do things, or keep them busy, more or less, you know. As I say, there's not much to these. You can see there's cracks and all that, but it does the purpose what they're for. They're going to be painted, and it keeps the children occupied while they're in hospital. Just a wee nose painted. We don't put any finish on them or anything, just give them a light sand. They're not sanded to any particular grit. I was using 80 grit sandpaper on them because that there stuff is quite rough, and some of it full of resin from the tree, and it sticks to your tools. I was just looking at my tools there now. You can see the build up of stuff on it now. That's the only thing about turning these skids. They tend to gung up your tools, and then have to end up getting some thinners and wiping them all off. But anyway, two fellow woodturners, Brian, asked me to put a wee video of. You would like to see a video of it, and Pat, I seen you commented too. You would be interested in seeing the video. I did do a video, as I said, a couple of years ago, and I put it up on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there, because they were way at the start when I first started turning, and you know, things when you first started weren't the best, you know. So I take a lot of stuff down it, I had up, so it might be there and it might not. But anyway, I'm going to do this wee video. So what you need, well, to start off, we need to put a tenon on this end, so we can mount it in the chuck. And I've got step center in the chuck here, and I'm going to center it up. I had it centered. Let's see. I had it centered before when I was bringing it to the round. Everybody knows how to bring stuff to the round. There's no point in showing that. But for those of you don't really know, well, you get your log or a piece of wood, whatever it is, branch wood, it could be anything. Draw lines, mark a centre, do the same on the other side, not your centre hole, and just mount it in between centres. We need to put a spigot on this. Now, because this timber is very, what would I call it, rough, I'm just getting my face mask on. By the way, you should all wear your face masks in your shed. Seen some disasters on YouTube or on Facebook lately. People have been hands torn and near misses in the eyes and stuff. You can never be too careful, especially when you're using something like this here, because you're not sure if there's any splits in it. It looks okay until you start turning it, and if there's any wee cracks in it at all, then rent them off the lathe spinning. They'll just throw it out, and if you're lucky, it'll miss you, and if you're not lucky, it'll hit you up the face. Anyway, use your be safety in mind it, and your face shield and dust mask and stuff. This is a wee bit dusty too. I'm not going to use my respirator. I'm going to want to talk to you and want you to understand me. So I'll be talking like a Dalek. Anyway, I got set up for recording some videos. I was using my phone before, but over the lockdown there, I bought a few cameras and bits and pieces, and another computer for the shed here, and so that I can do all this. I've only since previously made one video live. I plan to do some more. It was more of a test piece, but I had a video where I made, what did I make? The donut. The donut. It's in the house. I was going to show you it there. I made a video of it, start to finish. I'd never done a donut before, and I just wanted to see what it entailed. So I made a video of it, but when I went to edit it, there was no sound, and I don't know why the sound didn't work. In front of me here, I have a TV screen. It's just up there, or just up there in front of me, and I can see all what's going on the screen, and it gives me the levels of volume. Your three green lines are shooting across, and that tells me the sound's working okay and it's recording. Then I can change my cameras. If I go like that, and I have three cameras at present, one face on, one side on, one that's a side on, or that's a side on one, and the other one is the overhead one, which is this one. So I have three cameras mounted up for this, and I was quite surprised with the quality of these web cameras. I see everybody's forking out thousands of pounds for equipment. There's no need to. I bought the web cameras and they're quite good quality. I bought actually four, and when I bought the first one, I bought it to see what the picture was like, and it's quite good. And I got it off Amazon, and I wanted to get another one, and they were sold out because everybody's in the same boat. Lockdown has made everybody go to their shed and do live videoing. So there's a big rush on cameras. The other thing is, I bought an R camera and I bought an Argus, and I don't know if it's sitting here. There it is, there. That's the camera there. Crosswell camera. It's good enough camera. The picture quality isn't as good as the ones I have up now. Crystal clear pictures, no problems with them. That other camera is not as crystal clear. There's a wee bit of, I would say, fuzziness in it. It's just not as clear as these three. And so I'm just keeping that one. I'm going to mount that somewhere in the shed, so it's a shed view of my shed. You know, people like to see your shed and what you're doing, what you've got, so on. And I was walking through Facebook yesterday, and I came across Joe Laird's post he put up. He's all the equipment sitting, all these cameras he bought, and the thing, the wee box for changing cameras over and stuff. When I was looking at it online, you're talking $2.5 grand for that wee thing. It's a lot of money to fork out. If you're planning on doing this big time and making it your full-time career or something, $2.5 grand is a lot of money to fork out. I didn't spend as much as that, nowhere near that. In fact, not even £100. I bought these web cameras. They were £26 each, and I bought a few leads, an extension leads to run the leads to the computer, which is sitting over on the other side of the shed that way. So I have the computer over there, and I have two screens of them, the big screen monitor where the computer is, and then I have this one in front of me. So the setup isn't rocket science. It's all to do with what uh, your computer. You need a good computer with plenty of memory. And I had my computer wasn't great, so I purchased a second-hand desktop off one of our fellow members, Mark soulmate, and it has 16 megabyte. What do you call it? I forget the name of it. I'll come into me in a minute. I just keep on talking and maybe it'll come to me. Anyway, I needed more RAM. Yes, I needed more RAM. The wee computer, laptop I have is only 4 gigabytes of RAM on it, and it's not quick enough for this type of work here. You need at least 8, and if you can get more than that, good. I was looking for a new computer myself for the laptop to replace it. There's nothing. They're all jumping over 4,500, on upwards for a 16 gigabyte of RAM on the computers. But anyway, that's a computer story. But you don't need all this fancy stuff. I'm just proof of that, and you don't need to go out and spend a lot of money and stuff you don't need. 3 web cameras, less than £100, a few cables. I think I spent about £30–40 on those, and the second-hand desktop of Mark. I did a couple of hundred for that, and it's not a lot of initial layout I've had to put out. Lockdown has made everybody a bit more, especially the woodturners that are making a living from it. With everything locked down, they need a revenue and a way of getting money in. And there's some of them I've seen, Pat Carroll and a few other ones have started live demos online and through Zoom or on, what's the other one? You can put them up on YouTube too, but through Zoom they can charge for them. You can get a code and stuff. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to be charging anything. I love what I do. It's my hobby, and if I can shed some light to a fellow woodturner that is doing something and he doesn't know how to do it, and if I know how to do it, I will help him. Just like people ask to see the video of it. 2 good woodturners. They've asked to see the wee chicks being made and what the process is. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to do a bit of turning. Just looking at the screen here. I've been yabbling on for 18 minutes. Sorry, guys. But having nobody to talk to, you talk to the TV, or talk to the camera. So I talk to you, all yous out there, and hopefully there is somebody watching. Anyway, so I've got this mounted on the lathe, and it's in between centers. I've got step center in my chuck. We're going to put a spigot on this hand or cannon, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I've just got the round nose piece of bar skew, and I'm going to just cut that. Okay, so safety in mind, before you start your lathe, just check everything's nice and tight. Everything's where it should be, and turn your speed down if you have variable speed. If you don't have variable speed, stand to the side when you turn your lathe on, because it'll just kick in and go up to whatever speed it's set up in the belt. Look, for yous out there that don't know the size of your chuck, I know the size of my chuck, and I've been I'm just taking it down below what I can see here. That works quite well for me for this purpose. The other thing about your chuck, when you're putting a tannin on a piece of wood, you should close your jaws down to about 3 or 4 mil and turn the tannin to that size. The reason why is the 4-jawed chuck, when you wind it out, if I was to wind that out and bring the jaws out, it's taking the circle out of the jaws. So if you were to clamp it, it'd only be pinching on 4 or 2 points of it each jaw. It wouldn't be clamping it right round and grabbing it. No. I didn't know this at the start, and I had a few pieces that came off on me, and I put it down to that after watching a few people and asking questions. If you don't ask questions, you don't learn nothing. So the best thing is to ask somebody if you don't know. There's no point in going ahead and doing something that you're doing wrong. I'm just going to take another wee bit off that, and then we'll get okay. I've just put a sort of a bevel on that. I'll show you what I mean. Just slight taper on it, so when it goes in the jaw, there. See what we have. Yeah, you can see there's a wee slight more taken off that. So the way I do this, it's not the only way of doing this. You can make a jig for this and put a hole off center for setting it up on the chuck, and I just put it off center by using the stab center, and I think it's 15 mil from the center. If you're making it with a wee jig, I'm just checking that. Okay, so we'll just get this tightened up in a tailstock. You can see it here. I hope you can see it. I've just changed the camera and maybe better view of it. Not really. Anyway, we have it. I'll change it over to the side one because that's where I'm going to be cutting from here. So the first part you're going to be turning is the head. Okay, and then you'll be coming down to the back bit, which has a slight dip in it. You probably have to mount it again. You'll see in a minute. I'm just going to use half-inch bow gouge. Just turn it. Make sure your tool rest is clear of it. So that's your first axis. You're turning on. It's off center. So as I said, it's not the only way you can do this. It's the way I prefer to do it. So we'll turn the speed down and we'll gradually get it up. Okay. tighten your twist up again. As I said, this is a bit of rough timber and there's big knot here, so it's dumping all over the place and there's loads of tar out, you can see that. You've got your head, that's what you want for your head, so I'll turn the speed up a wee bit, try and tell you what's up a bit. Right, and just push the back up to get the shape I want for coming up slightly, running up like a, to give them sort of a wee neck. It's up to you what the shape you want. I have a slight, that's a slight run on it angle. When you're happy with that, I've tidied that up a wee bit. There was a lot of tar out. I can take another slice off it and try and tidy it up a bit. See what that's like now. There you are, nice clean cut. Using wood like this here, you need sharp tools. I sharpened these last night, once it just finished. So we're going to just shape the head here. Stop at a wee second. I'm just changing tools here to a wee 1/4 inch fingernail grind gouge, spindle gouge, just to tidy this up a wee bit. Just stop and have a look. wee bit loose there, so it was. There's a lot of chloride on that. The sandpaper will sort that out. As I say, this is waste wood. It's not good wood for turning. We now need to change this into the chuck. So we'll take our spigot out, or the step sender, and we have it in this position now. So we want to turn a bit of this off at the front, and you'll see what I mean by rechucking it again. And they are where we had it with the step sander. Just make sure you've got a good grip on your jaws. Right, we're going to need the tail stock this time because it's in the jaws. We're going to go back to the bowl guides because that's a good tool to use for this. You can use a spindle guide. I just prefer using bowl guides. So put the speed up. And just do a solid line off the top before it hits the head. Just got it and show you what I mean. So you want the head to be sitting for the proud. Well, it's hard to figure things. You see the way it's coming up here, like a wee breast into the head. So you want to take enough timber away to leave it like that. So I can still take a wee bit of timber off here because it's still quite proud of it. But it's up to you. You're the turner and you're the one that's deciding on the shape. If you're happy enough with the shape as it is, just leave it alone. I'm going to take another wee bit of it. So we've now got it down to that. If you want to do any refining of the shape, then you can do it before you cut it off. There's only a really bit of sanding. I would like to just shape this a wee bit more, so I'm going to remount it back into the step sander. Whenever I put it on the pocket. This is what I mean about, you can see where the two self-center rings, that's your center and that's your offcut. It's about 15 to 20 mil. It depends on the wood you're using. If you want to make it jut out a bit further than that, or have it running in line, it's up to you. So we'll just put that back in the hole. And it's going to have a hole in the head and it didn't leave enough timber on that for the tailstock to go up. I found with the rest of them, once you start sanding that wee bit away, it disappears. Again, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It just has to resemble a chicken, or looks like a chicken. So we have now that's between centres again, and it's off centre. So I can bevel this up again and take another swipe off it to, as that turns, I want to take a wee bit more just off that so it comes up round the neck of the head. I take a wee bit more off there so that it just looks like there's the head and it's just sitting on it. So, you know, see what I mean? There's not a lot of work in them. It's just setting it up and getting your settings right. And once you get one, you know what you're doing. My first couple didn't work out because I forgot how to do it. There's the first one there. Right. What I done wrong with that, I didn't put the spigot on the end of it, and I've no way to mount it again, and I couldn't mount it between centres because you need the centre of the hole be here somewhere, you know, so there's no wood there for it. So you have to have a spigot on it to tuck it in your jaws to get to finish it. So I'm just going to take another wee bit off this. Again, turn your speed down until you're comfortable with it. Bring it up gradually. Look for the shadow line as it's coming around. I'm just in case it's close too right. Just want to off it up a little bit, and then you can come down off the head. Right, so that's been, I'm happy with that. We'll give it a wee light sand. I'm not going to go mad sanding it. Let's say they're for painting, so this is about 80 grit. And again, watch your fingers when you're doing this, because that's what's running around. Out there on the fan, if you make a big bit of paper, that's why I hold it on like that. That will allow you keep your fingers right out of the way as you're doing this. Then what you want to do is keep the roughness off it. See what that's like. So that's good enough for me. Stick a load of paint in that and it'll be 100%. So we'll get rid of this. We'll mount it back in the chuck. I'll bring the camera down a wee bit. So you can see the shape of it. I'm going to say I'll change that to the front view. Where are we? There. We can see the shape now. It's sort of running uphill towards the head. So you want some shape in it. You can put a lot more shape in it if you want. When it's not that shape there, I'm more or less happy with it. As I say, it's only for the kids to paint. So we want to sand this. As you up your hands, the hair flying around the different axes, so you get a nice shine on the fingers. Just going to leave it here stop. I'm just going to sand out a wee bit of the head where the tail stop was going in. We'll have a look at that and see what it's like. See what I mean? Most of it's away. You can give it another go over. Nobody's going to notice a hole in the head once a lot of paint goes on it. So sanding it brings all the shapes together. There wasn't a lot to it, as you've seen. It's just getting the setup right. I did say there's another way of doing this. You can make a jig for it, which goes in the chuck, and you put it off. You have two circles, the one on center and the one 20mm away from it, pushing it off center, and you just jam chuck it in. I didn't like that idea because with the wood we're using, or I'm using, it's full of resin and big knots, and the first catch would pull it off. So I opted to do it this way. I find it far easier. You may decide doing it with a jig you like that way. See, everybody has their own take on it. So that's all the sanding I want to do that. So I'm just going to part it off here. Bring the street down. So we now have our duck, our chick, and I want to see if we can line out the shape. You can see the shape there where it's got like a wee breast and it's popping out, and then the head, and then as you come down to the body, you can see the shape running from the neck down to the back. You can take it down further if you want. Let's say it's up to the individual that's making them. I just need to sand this wee bit off and drill a hole for his nose, and there you are, one chicken for the children to paint. And you can do that. You can make a wee hat for it if you want it, and stick it on, make it a wee bit of novelty out of it, you know, a chicken with a hat. So that's all I wanted to show you. Seen a couple of people asked to see it, the video of it, and it's not much of a video. I do more talking and turning on this one, but it lets you see that wee small things, just a wee bit of wood in the chuck, turn a wee nose and stick it in it. As I say, I done those ones yesterday. I want to do a few more now. You can see they're various sizes. just whatever way that it comes out to you. You know, the week talks to you sometimes, and it's saying those two there are more. Bloody compressor kicking in. Between phones and compressors. Those two are about to be the same size. You don't have to make them the same size. I have a few there. There's a bigger one. And there's a smaller one. You could say that's the baby duck. And that could be the daddy duck. Daddy duck. And then we have the mommy duck. And there we are. So, we put the daddy duck first, and then baby duck. And baby duck at the last. So there you are, guys. I hope you found that interesting, and didn't mind me waffling on. I'm not going to waffle on anymore, because this video is going to be going for 45 minutes. So, there you are, guys. Thanks for watching, and happy turning, and be safe out there with this COVID. And I haven't got my jag yet. The wife got hers last week. She has underlying health conditions, so she was able to get hers. I'm her carer, so from the doctors, and they're not doing cures as yet, but according to the news, they are. So we'll just have to wait and see. There's no point in phoning and starting the whole array, you know. Just wait and see what's happening. You know, it shouldn't be too long to come around. I think they're coming down to 55 to 60 next. I think they're doing 60 to 65 at the minute. So I'm not in that bracket yet. Like most of you are in the 60 bracket. I'm not far off it, like, but you know what I mean. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon when our lockdowns all lifted and we're going back to our meetings and our chapters and stuff. We're going to do a bit of chatting and getting on. We all miss it, you know. We're all stuck at home. We can't go out anywhere. There's no shops open anyway, so where we can go out for a walk. But did you see the news, you know, yesterday and Sunday down in Newcastle? People are not paying any attention at all, and they wonder why people get sick, and there's no talking to them. Some people don't believe it, you know. I was down a wee bit of shopping the other day, and I walked into Iceland, and there's this guy standing in front of me with no mask on. Everybody else got a mask on. Everybody in the shop, even the till operators. And there's your mom walking around. No, haven't a care in the world. I hope he's okay. That's all I can say to him, you know. Because, you know, the majority of these people say they're not getting the virus or not taking the vaccine. Well, all I can say to that to them is good luck with it, because it could come back to bite you big time, especially if you're going on holiday. If they're going to do the checks and passports, who's had the vaccine, what way they want to do it, because they'll say a lot of the countries like Spain, Italy, and so on, that they might turn around and say, if you have been vaccinated, and if you haven't, you're not getting in. So there's a whole lot of things you need to think about. There's too much scaremongering going on too. I was talking to Billy this morning. He phoned me, and he had his last week, and he says he was in bed for 3 days. It really knocked him off his feet. But I've heard of a couple of people like that after getting the vaccination. Some people it doesn't affect. It didn't affect the wife. She got it, and we just kept an eye on her, and she's okay. Touch wood. So it's to say, it's people are telling. There's a lot of stories going around, and there's doing this and there's doing that, but it's all nonsense. It's just like the flu job. You get it every year. Come my way, and I get it every year too. The flu job, because I'm the wife's carer, and I have to be able to look after. The way I look at it is, if you have somebody that's caring for a person that's vulnerable, they don't end up in hospital. You know, that's the way they're looking at it. So if they can give you a vaccination against the flu, doesn't mean you get it, but it should help. Anyway, guys, I'm still rambling on. I hope to be doing a couple of wee live videos maybe next week. I've been doing a lot of our stuff not related to woodworking or turning, and it just took me away from the shed. So I've only really got into the shed from Saturday there to do three of these things for the Children's Hospital. So I haven't really. I have a couple of plans. I want to do a couple of pieces with paints and stuff. I've an idea of what I want to do, but it'll be do it and see. You don't do it twice, you do it first time and see what works. But that's the way to do it, and that's what I'm trying to crowd across to people, that you don't have to be an artist to do stuff. If you enjoy doing what you do, just go keep going. But once we get lockdown over and back in the club, an awful lot of new woodturners have taken up the call to it because of the lockdown, and the problem is with them, there's no chapters or clubs to join because everybody's in lockdown, and they're the ones I'm trying to get at, safety ways. We have a Zoom meeting every fortnight, Tuesday fortnight, of our chapter. We have about 30 or so members and visitors. You don't have to be a member to tune in on Zoom, and we do different things. I done a video or presentation on chucking pieces of timber into your chuck and stuff, and different methods of holding pieces of wood in your chuck or with no chuck. And you don't have to have a chuck to put stuff on the lathe. You can use your faceplate ring, and you can sew on, you can put between centers but using your revolving center and your chuck. So things like that we're trying to get out to people that are just new to it. We had the last one we had was Jim Stevens done a wee presentation on maintaining your lathe and making sure it's the right height for you to stand at, because if you haven't got it the right height and you're standing at it, you'll get a sore neck. And the other thing is it level, because if the bed is twisted, it will twist, even though it's a big sturdy big thing, and you can twist your bed if it's not level. So he pointed those things out to us, and then we had Eugene last time. He was doing a maintenance on your chuck, taking it apart and cleaning all the inside of it out and maintaining. You should do it maybe once a month or 2 months, just when you're doing maintenance on your lathe. You always check it, everything's okay, it sounds okay, and so on. These things need to be checked regular. You just can't presume that the lathe is going to be 100% and your chuck is going to be working 100% forever. You must maintain these things and make sure they're operating to the way they should. Uh, Next one coming up is me again. I'm doing a wee video on mounting pieces of log, with how to mount them. Basically, if you got a log or something like that there, what way you want to put it on the lathe to get what you want out of it. It's a piece of you. Or I don't know what that is. It came from somebody's back garden anyway. You know, mounting it on to make a small fish or bowl when there's no mounting point on it. How do you go about it and things like that there. Just how you do this and how you do that. And then we have another one coming up on dust extraction. I think Stephen's doing that. And we have another one coming up after that. Then we have another workshop tour. I done the tour of my workshop about a month ago. I extended my shed and made it bigger. So I done a wee video presentation on that to show everybody what I was making and why I was making it bigger. Basically, you never have enough room. But the only thing is, when you have plenty of room, you just stick more stuff in it. That's the only thing. Alright guys, I'm away this time, sorry. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Bye.